Previously on Greasy Hammer's factory. That's pretty intense. Don't want to go in there. It's decayed to safe levels, so nothing to worry about. This thing is overpressured, but the one vent is still working. You can see these doors automatically close to take some of the heat out of here. There we go. That ought to do it. Alright, now we can carve out this thing. Ah, there we go. Alright, starting to warm up. Oh yeah. Alright, I think that's as good as it's going to get. Temperature is getting better. I've got this cooling loop. Nothing like a good massage to take the edge off. Okay, that's done. Almost. Alright, this is working properly. Now we're just going to set this to above 500. Alright, and we're going to need to add some cooling. Okay, we just need to fill this with hydrogen. Got quite a few eggs already piling up in here. That should do it. There we go. So as soon as this fills up, it's going to stop producing. And once again, this is G, and welcome back to the factory. Today, we're finally starting to build some serious machinery. I'll tell you, this is going to be great. I haven't been this excited in a while. First of all, we're going to have to start with a new metal refinery. And we've got this thing over here, but we're going to move it to something a little bit more appropriate. And we're going to set up way down here, I think. Alright, well that should do it. What we're going to do is we're going to use magma, which is going to be coming through this pipe. And we're going to use it to cool this metal refinery. And then we're going to put a little bit of naphtha over here to make sure the metal refinery itself doesn't overheat. Because magma is going to be used to cool the whole refining process, but the building itself puts out a little bit of heat as well. And naphtha, in conjunction with some hydrogen, is going to be cooling the building. And actually, got to put a hydrogen pipe here. And we're going to connect it like this. That should do it. Alright. Let's go ahead and let them build it. And then once this is done, we're going to produce a lot of refined metal. And we're going to use that refined metal to build our first mega project, which is going to be none other than a sour gas boiler. And it's going to look something like this. There we go. And we've got here a sour gas boiler design using a tower, which is similar to what I have shown in the previous video. Check out the link in the description below. But this time around, we're not going to be using liquid oxygen. We're going to just use hydrogen gas. And we're going to use 8 thermal regulators. I know it's showing 7 here, but it's going to be 8. And we're going to set up it in such a way that magma coming off of this plant that's going to be boiling the sour gas is then going to be rejecting the excess heat into this steam chamber over here. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. We still need lots of materials, and also we're going to need to carve out this area properly. So before we get to that, let's get those other things done first. Alright, so one of the things we're going to do here is we're going to start to seal up all of this area. Basically, we're just going to brick everything in. And then after that, we can carve it out from underneath and create a vacuum. But that's going to take a while. So while that's going on, let's see how we're doing over here. Alright, let's speed this along. Alright, there we go. It's coming along nicely. And so the main premise here is going to be that we're going to have 2 reservoirs. And for now, we're using iron ore. Ideally, I would use steel. But anyway, this is going to be the hot reservoir. This is going to be the cold reservoir. And magma is going to fill up into here first. And then go through the refinery. This thermosensor here is going to control the temperature. And we can set it to below 2000. Basically, if it's below 2000, it can enter the refinery, otherwise bypass. Because if the magma is too hot, it's going to explode the pipes after it comes out. And that's not going to be very good. And one other thing we're going to need to do is bring some naphtha. So I've enabled this. And we're going to get the guys to bring some naphtha in here. But in the meantime, let's see what's printing. Alright, let's have a look here. Alright, maybe we got some good dupes. Nope. Alright, we're gonna get this muck root. Alright, maybe next time. Alright, let's see. Where is this naphtha? Alright, construction continues over here in the meantime. Let's see. We're going to pick up this bottle here. Alright. These bugs, I don't know. We'll have to deal with them. Alright, there we go. That should be good. Pretty decent, hefty amount. Let's go ahead and deconstruct this. And let's see. Oh yeah, this is getting ready. That's good. And the other thing is, we seem to be missing some steel over here. It just needed to be prioritized, that's all. Alright, in the meantime, let's go ahead and set this to refine just about everything. Except tungsten, maybe. There we go. Alright, I think we're pretty much good to go. Oh yeah, totally forgot the hydrogen. Let's go ahead and get that. Alright, that ought to do it. Alright, we're gonna seal this up. Oh yeah, this is exploding. Not. Excellent. Alright, looking at the temperature. Everything seems to be under control. This is filling up. Temperature is good. Alright, we're going to be getting ready to refine any time now. Let's clean up all this mess. There we go. We got our first refining happening. Beautiful. Let's see how it goes. Alright, and it's dumping it into the hot tank. And for now, it's just collecting here. It's not actually that hot, so we could actually recycle it back. But let's collect the tank first, then we'll deal with it. Alright, fabulous. Alright, so as you can see here, I've changed this up a little bit. Now we got one pool of water, and it's being properly cooled by this water loop. Look at the temperature, it's pretty healthy. And what's going to happen is magma that's going to be used for the sour gas boiler will also dump into this pool. So it'll be used for everything to cool all the bits of magma. Alright, so here we are a few cycles later. And we've produced quite a bit of refined material. And also we heated up the liquid magma here. We're about 1900 degrees and change, closer to 2000. And if we see here, this is coming in from the volcano over here. And then this is the offtake into the turbines. And I cleaned up the plumbing a little bit over here. You see the oil loop actually got removed. But the rest of it here just recirculates until the temperature reaches critical. Also, if you notice this here, I noticed this weird graphics artifact. Just kind of wanted to show you guys. I don't know if anyone else seen this, but it seems to be new to the update. But anyways. Over here, construction continues. We're getting the bottom of the sour gas boiler constructed. And then slowly bricking up everything here. And then over here, again, bricking everything up. Dug out this hole over here to drain some of this water. And again, I'm going to construct the shell and then brick this up. And then once all this is enclosed, we're going to dig from the bottom into a vacuum chamber. So that should be pretty good. But yeah, let's see what's printing over here. Let's have a look at the dupes. Maybe we can finally pick up a dupe. Oh, wow. Holy crap, look at that. We got machinery, construction, agriculture, and can't do researching, but that's okay. We got Travaldo. Max, welcome aboard, Max. Excellent. Finally, our 11th dupe. That's been a while, hasn't it? Speaking of researching, I'm gonna have to fix this GUI bug before we get back to that. Alright, that's better. I actually have this feeling that this glitch with the visuals is related to very large blueprints. Yeah, because I don't usually use very large blueprints, but I think that's what's triggering it. If you've seen it before, just post in the comments. Let me know. Alrighty. Let's get this construction going. We've got to mop all this stuff up. And let's go ahead and prioritize this. And let's see. This is almost done. We're like pushing out these bugs slowly out of here. Kind of had this interesting idea. Maybe I'll set up a farm that involves these kind of individual vertical nests where the bugs can't actually get out. You know, not the most humane approach, but anyway, to be tested. Alright, this is still going on. We are basically refining everything except wolframite. And that's because tungsten we can get from abyssalite later on, but wolframite is actually handy by itself in its unrefined form, so kind of nice to hang on to. And it's hard to come by. Alright, somebody please get in there. There we go, high priority. Alright, this is not cooking. That's because we don't have enough coal. So what we're going to need to do is, I think we're going to need to set up a hatch farm. We got all these hatches here. And rather than just kind of sitting around, we can just get them productive. I'm thinking we build a hatch farm over here. Alright, there we go. That's going to look fairly similar to the poke shell farm over here. Also, we're going to replace these insulated tiles with some regular ones, because we want to actually equalize this temperature here. And if we look, it's fairly warm, but it's protected by this abyssalite. And so we can go ahead and cool it from here and then equalize everything out. And then these bugs, we're going to move them elsewhere after that. But in general, I want to build this whole area into like a large farming complex. Maybe not large, but just a farming complex. And then set up a little village over here where dupes can do just agriculture, just farming. So, yeah. Anyways, we're going to let them build this. And after that, we'll come back in a bit. Alright, so our farm is done. If you look at the size of the room, 96 tiles. Just kind of used whatever environment was available. And then this floor we just replaced with some granite. I got some vent tiles here. That gets all the CO2 further down here. And then if we look over here, construction's going on. And we got floor tiles being built out. This is in preparation for the sour gas boiler. And this is all bricked up. And there's a little bit more to do over here. And then after that, we're going to brick this up as well. It's getting there. I think what we should do is actually beef up the capacity on this fridge. Let's set it to 4 kilos for now. That should help with the starvation. And then we got a little bedroom over here. And a mess hall. and that's going to be for max, and then maybe the next potential dupe. And that's all the room we have for now. Alright, now we just got to get some more critters in here. Let's see, we got priority. Alright, let's set that to priority 9. And then let's see how we're doing over here. Alright, critters are getting wrangled. Alright, boys, come on, let's wrangle them up. Alright, here we go. Okay. There we go. They're coming. And what we're going to be feeding them is going to be none other than sedimentary rock. And that's going to make stone hatches down the road. And we got no shortage of igneous rock coming out of the magma. So, going to have plenty of food for these guys. Some of the other things you can feed them is, well, lots of things, but dirt, for instance. Alright, let's check it out over here. We got this alarm going out of here for water level being low. And it's not really an issue. It's more of a yellow alarm. And that's because it's connected to this pump over here. And when the water level is low, it activates. So you know what? Just gonna set it to informational for now. Should be okay. Alright, let's see what's printing over here. Alright, that's pretty good. And yeah, you know what? Let's take this iron. We're only gonna take the best of the best of the best. Alright, so the floor here is done. What we gotta do is we gotta layer this out with some kind of, I think, what we gotta do is we gotta put naphtha on this floor and then a water layer on top. And it's gonna push all the gas out of here. So let's do that. What we'll do is we'll free up a little bit of space here. There we go. And then we're going to put bottle empty here. Alright, we're going to set that to naphtha. Sweep only. And then we're going to go and get the naphtha down here. Might as well bring it all. Alright, let's get it all. This is going to be the bottom of the Sargas boiler, as I mentioned before. But first we got to break all of this in. Unfortunately, got to do like one tile at a time here, for now. Alright, Max is coming. There we go. And it's going to push some of the water down. That's okay. Alright, so what we're doing here is we're going to put a water layer on top. Alrighty, so finally, after a very unhealthy amount of micromanagement, it's done. I got bottom layer of naphtha, top layer of water, everything is encased in ceramic at the top, and then igneous rock where vacuum is going to be, so it doesn't matter. And then this conductive plate is going to connect this vacuum to this inner chamber here. And the reason we're using naphtha for the liquid is ordinarily I'd use petroleum, but this has much lower thermal conductivity. This helps to get as much efficiency out of this whole thing as possible. Otherwise, some of the heat is going to leak between the insulated pipes that are carrying hydrogen and the steam chamber, and we want to reduce that. So we're going to have thermal regulators over here, and they're going to be made out of steel, I couldn't put all of them in here for now because there's only so much steel. But we're going to get more. And then we're going to have ceramic pipes. And then this is going to be the turbine water return. And these don't actually have to be made out of steel. Gold amalgam would be okay. But we don't have any, so I guess steel it is. Alright, let's speed this up. And let's see what's printing. Let's see here. Alright, we got rust here. And let's see for dupes. Ooh, that's pretty good. We got construction. No real side effects here. Doesn't need to do medicine. Pretty much just construction. Alright, we're gonna get this one. Devon, welcome aboard. Beautiful. Alright, that's gonna be situated here. There we go. Perfect. Alright, let's see how things are down here. We're gonna close this up and we can actually start digging down here. Alright. We're definitely gonna need to crank out a lot more steel. Yeah, so you can see the problem here is that the coolant is too hot. And so it's being prevented from entering the metal refinery. Otherwise it's gonna boil. And that's not gonna be good for anybody. So once this thing erupts, which it will eventually, we're gonna have more coolant. So this thing's going. Lots of hydrogen here. Beautiful. Let's see. Oh, this is good. It's actually reducing at this point. Because these things, they do run sometimes. Or not. Alright, this is getting finished up. And in the meantime, we got our hatch farm over here with a bunch of very happy hatches, which are going to be producing coal as best as they can anyway. This is gradually filling up with mealwood plants, slowly. And we're okay for food for now. And we don't seem to be having any more starving since I bumped this up, so that's good. Alright, that's getting finished up. Let's see. We gotta get this finished. Alright, that's a vacuum. Gotta dig this out. There we go. I'm gonna dig all this out. Gradually. I'm gonna make sure we don't drop the sand down, otherwise it's gonna be a disaster. And after that we can build out the generator room. And because digging this out is going to take a while, I decided to make a little montage for you guys. Here it goes. Alright, now that we dug out the bottom sections, we can lay out the plumbing. Here will be the oil feed and the methane return, and then the natural gas feed and the CO2 return, with an intercooler through the steam turbines. In addition, we're going to have the magma pipe at the bottom that's going to boil the sour gas, and then dump the waste heat into the steam box, where the generators will be. And that extra heat will help to boil the polluted water. So what we'll get is a clean water source at the end. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, now that everything has been properly bricked up, we can start digging all the way to the top. We've got the natural gas pumps, magma feed, and control circuit pretty much done. And so now we can finish the oil feed, which has a shutoff and a valve to cap it at 1 kilo per second. And once we're at the top, we'll build the methane condenser, which will take a good deal of cobalt to make, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. In the meantime, let's keep going. Alright, finally. Holy crap, that took a while. Cycle 490. So what we got going on here is the bottom of the sour gas boiler is almost done. And the generator room over here, which is going to be a steam box, is almost done as well. We're going to put a liquid lock over here using oil. And then this is going to be a steam turbine. And then over here is going to be the methane kind of boil off to natural gas. And it's going to share this with the steam room. So temperature is going to like equalize between the two. And then if we look over here, we're going to have our natural gas feed. And then this is going to be the CO2 takeoff. And then if you look over here, what we're going to do is we're going to cool this CO2 using those turbines and then feed it back and sequester it in here. And the other thing is, because this is actually going to produce enough to feed about 7.4 generators, we're going to have 7 generators running full time. And then the 8th generator is going to use this pressure sensor. And if it's sufficient, then it's going to run. Otherwise, if there's not enough natural gas, the 8th generator is not going to run. But anyway, while that's going on, there's another issue. If you look over here, we've got a temperature issue. So we're going to have to fix that. And we can do that if we adjust this plumbing a little bit. So we got this pipe over here coming from the scrubbers, and it's a bit too hot. And we can actually feed it into, instead of feeding it over here at this junction, we're going to reroute it. Like so. So we're going to have it going this way. And we're going to use a bridge for priority. This is from the other planetoid. It's going to merge here. And then again, another bridge for priority. And it's going to feed into this chlorinator. And actually, we're going to have germy and non-germy polluted water going into it. And it's just going to dilute it. So that will work just fine. And then we have this cooling loop over here, which in fact is coming from all the way from here. And that is cooling things very nicely. You can see here. And what we're going to do is we can do a little heat exchanger right over here of sorts. So let's see. All right, that should do the job just fine. I know it's kind of ghetto, but it'll do in a pinch. And then this cooling loop is going to basically cool this output of the chlorinator. And then the rest of it is just going to feed into the chlorinator. Yeah, that should do it. And then to reduce unnecessary cooling, we're just going to add some insulation around it. Alright, let's see. Alright, so back to this. And we don't have enough steel for everything yet. It's kind of slim pickings, but we can just dig our way upward. So let's do it. Alright, so the top section is finally completed. You can see down here. Got this section almost done as well. We don't have enough steel for the generators, but they'll come a little bit later. And then over here we're just finishing up the plumbing. And then we can start filling this up with hydrogen. Still need a little bit more steel to complete this part. But we can get some of the lead pipes coming in. And then we can get hydrogen from either down here. Or there's some up here. Just gotta bridge it in. That should do it. And then I want to show you what's been going on down here. So over here we're going to set up an aqua tuner. Conveniently there's just enough spot over here to put it in. Pretty much couldn't find any other room here. This is done. And then got some plumbing over here. We're going to hook this up. And we're going to get this magma feed all the way to here. This is not connected just yet, but for now I'll just feed into this and preheat the pipe. Probably going to be some cracking, but that's okay. And one other thing. So over here, I'm working to change this up a little bit because I noticed there's some problems that have to do with this loop clogging up potentially. So maybe I'll add some shutoffs here. Let's see. Yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to add a second buffer tank over here for the output. There we go. Got a shutoff over here and an extra tank. And I'm going to set this tank over here to a maximum of, let's say, 90% and a minimum of, let's say, 10. And we got an automation wire over here connected from the tank to the shutoff. So when this tank gets low, it's going to be topped up from this feed over here, as well as from the recirculation. There we go. All done. Beautiful. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's feeding it. Alright, that should keep it from backing up. Beautiful. Yeah, let's see. Okay, we got this building broken. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, that's from the magma feed. That's fine. We're gonna let them fix it, and then once it's all fixed, it shouldn't break anymore. Just needs to preheat properly. Alright, well that ought to do it. Should be good from here on. And over here everything looks safe and sound. We got magma flowing. We can adjust the priority here. Alright, so these two pipes over here are going to have equal priority. And then this volcano is going to have the third priority. And the lowest priority is going to be this pump. So if there's no magma, this is going to be the one to be used. So it's pretty much not going to run. As long as the three volcanoes are providing enough magma, it should be fine. Okay, we've got to finish this up. We're finally at cycle 500. And while we're waiting for the materials to be delivered, let's see what's printing here. Let's see if we got any good dupes. I'm thinking this particular one over here, Miyama. Got agriculture, and it's pretty good at ranching. Slow learner, but that's no big deal. There's no rush. Super productive when overjoyed. Miyama, welcome. Alright, so what I was thinking to do... Oh yeah, right away. Pop the eardrums. But anyways, what I was thinking to do is situate the farmers and the ranchers over here. And then later on, we're just going to build a whole residential area over here. Alright, so our thermoregulator chamber is pretty much done. Just about. And we're just now filling it up with water. You can see here. And once this is full, we're going to clean up a few things here. And then fill it with hydrogen. Just got to finish this gas pipe. Whoops, forgot we need some temp shift plates in here. And a little automation wire over here so we can close this vent. And then fill up this loop and start cooling everything. Alright, so this is all buttoned up. We got a turbine. And now we can go ahead and open the hydrogen feed. And what we should also do is turn these things on. Just gonna set this backwards. Just for now. And the vent is closed, so that's not going to cause any issues. Imagine if it was open. Oh, that would be a disaster. Alright, here it comes. Take that off. Alright, that doesn't seem to be working. That's because of this bridge. There we go. I knew I had forgotten something. Alright, here we go. Finally was able to scrounge enough cobalt to put the temp shift plates in here. And we still don't have enough cobalt. And then we're going to put the pump. That's going to be for the methane. Over here, water is at a pretty good level. Don't really want to go too much over 300 kilos. Otherwise, you're going to have flooding issues. But anyways, what we're going to do now is we're going to let some hydrogen in here. And that way we have a medium, so this can check the temperature properly. So let's connect this. And then we're going to connect that. And I've metered out just enough hydrogen in this pipe. So it should top it up. And then this temperature sensor, we're just going to put it correctly now. And that should do it. Let's see. There we go. Alright, so the hydrogen loop should be all set now. And we just need some more cobalt. Oh, we got ice melting over here. It's kind of warming up over here. But this guy here is keeping it nice and cool. More or less. Got enough food. Add a little buffer over here for the wastewater. In case this pipe starts to back up. Yeah, so one of the problems is this thing's dormant. And so what ends up happening is we exhausted all the magma. We heated it up to 2200 degrees. And it's just kind of looping around, but there's nothing feeding it. But what we could do is potentially feed it off of here somewhere. We need to add a line in this way. And then the return loop. Yeah, I think this should do it. We're going to feed it from here and then up and over. And it's going to feed into this recirculator here, providing it with cooler magma. And then this is the return loop to the turbines. Just going to take out this piece of wall here because you don't want to be heating it needlessly. Well, that ought to do it. Yep. Okay, let's connect the feed here. Oh yeah, I forgot one other thing. We're gonna bridge this over here and then feed it off of this exit pipe. There we go. And it's about, let's see, we got 1700 degrees. That's perfect. Let's see over here. Yeah, gonna crack a little bit. That's okay. Yeah, we got about 1600 coming in here. And it's about closer to 1750, 1800 coming this way. So it's got mixing this recirculator and the top up. Alright, we're going to let Max cook this thing for a while. Alright, now we should have all the cobalt we're going to need. So let's just keep going. All done up here. Now let's have a look down here. So what you can see we're doing here is we filled a layer of water over here with a turbine. And now the remaining water is being dumped into this chamber. And it's going to produce the initial steam just to get everything into an atmosphere. So it's not in a vacuum. But before we can do that, we need a liquid lock here. So now that all the water is drained, we can go ahead and fill this trough down here with oil. And then we can set this valve to 1000 grams. And we're feeding oil here. We just got to get the magma hooked up in addition to this. And then we're going to go ahead and set up an aqua tuner here. And we need a power line to connect everything. And just runs like this. And we can seal this area. And we got to connect the magma. Also, the oil filling should stop when it reaches 10 kilos here. And it's almost there. Oh, let's see what's printing. All sorts of stuff. Nothing interesting. Let's pick these eggs. Let's have a look over here. Okay, that's well above 10 kilos. What's going on? Okay, enough said. This needs to be set up to 540. Yeah. Whoops. Let's see here. The shutoff is off. Now let's speed this along. Alright, perfect. It stopped. Okay. Now let's connect the magma. There we go. So it's going to heat up this thing here. and it's going to pass through this spot, and it's going to heat up and boil this water. And then the remainder magma is going to be dropping out down here, and it's just going to become igneous rock, just like everything else. So one pool to rule them all, and it's cooled by this aqua tuner here. So if we look at the temperature, things should be warming up nicely. Yep. And this is just excess heat. Eventually this water is going to boil, but first we need the sour gas here. And it's coming. I am really excited for this. It's been so many long cycles. This whole episode has been one long process, as you can imagine. So up here you can see it's cool at -185. So this is ready to chill any sour gas that comes up. And down here, oh, we're getting petroleum, but just wait a little bit and we get sour gas. And let's see, we got the aqua tuner all set up. Yep. Let's see what's going on over here. It's kind of in a... Oh, got a problem here. Well, that was bound to happen. Let's turn it off for now. Well, what's going on is we don't have enough magma. So, that's a problem. Yep. Used up this whole tank and not much else. That's great. We need a little bit more. We're just going to rewire this a little bit. There we go. That should be good. Oh yeah. There it is. Finally. Been a while. And then after this water is going to boil as well, which should stop this overheat damage nonsense. That's my bad, but you know, whoops, stuff happens. Let's clean this up. And meanwhile, over here, what's going on now? We got sulfur, we got methane, and it's coming down the pipe. Let's see. There it is. This is building up some natural gas. Yep. Let's see. Oh yeah. Everything is nice and cool up here. Got a nice temperature gradient. Alright, let's see if I got enough steel for generators. 1. Okay. Start with 1. And then for the vent here, it's going to stay open either if there's not enough steam. So regardless of the temperature, if there's not enough steam, it's just going to stay open. Or it's going to stay open if it's above 200 degrees in here. So obviously the steam turbine is going to kick in first if it's above 190. And then if it still gets hotter, like if it's not cooling down and it goes like over 200, then drip into here. Otherwise, return. Unless there's not enough steam. If there's not enough steam, it's going to keep filling this regardless. Okay. Let's keep going. Alright, things are finally warmed up nicely in here. It still needs to get a little bit hotter, but we can start adding more generators. And that's all the steel we got for now. But we'll just keep adding them as we go. Meanwhile, we got steam happening over here. And then it's going to get to 125 eventually, and then the steam turbine will kick in. For now, it'll just be naturally cooled here, and this will actually help. So yeah, there we are. We're cooking. Still got to add 3 more gas generators, but overall, it's working pretty well. And once this is complete, we can get rid of this legacy contraption. And then a little bit later, we can get oil from the other asteroid. But I do like this. I kind of think of it as a sustainable fossil fuel solution. You know, here we're making our own oil from nothing. And then we're making our own natural gas. And then we're deleting CO2 by creating polluted water. And then we feed polluted water into these plants up here. So, yeah. I don't know. Post what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know what you think. But it's been a huge project. It's not 100% complete, but it's pretty close. It's running. And we're not collecting the sulfur here. Don't need to right now. Maybe later on we can do something, but that's not the purpose of this. Yep. One thing I noticed is that this is starting to warm up a bit. And it's because it's having a hard time dealing with all the heat coming from all the sources down here. So probably going to need a second aqua tuner. I was looking into maybe using this one, but that's going to be a bit tricky. There's not a lot of room to maneuver here. Yep. This has been kind of cleaned up. Now we have this continuous loop. Essentially all volcanoes feed into this thing. And then it feeds the output. Anyways, I think we're going to call it here. It's been a very long episode, but our gas boiler is finally complete. More or less. This has been Greasy Hammer, and if you like this video, then smash that like button. And subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you very much, everybody. Bye-bye.